Welcome to the Frog Splash Podcast, coming to you live from Austin, Texas. Once again, we are
Jesse,
Adam,
Alex.
Boys, I know it was just last week we were here at the same time putting on another great podcast, but talking about the greatest Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. Besides talking about that, we're moving on. Backlash, it's time for some real storylines to end, for some to begin, champions to be crowned, and some to end? No, that didn't make sense. All right, let's kick it right off into our United States champion, Jeff Hardy, defending his championship against Randy Orton. Jesse?
it's going to be a solid match. I remember when these two feuded way back in the day, probably 2010, 2011-ish. I expect a great match. Not getting too much build-up on it, so I think you're just going off of the names alone. But it's going to be a great match. I don't expect Jeff Hardy to lose the belt this quickly. Randy Orton already has his Grand Slam, so there's really no reason to put the belt on him.
Yeah, I think it's all about the star power in this as well. I'm excited for this because I definitely didn't watch when they had a feud before this. Mm-hmm. So for me, even though I'm not really a Randy Orton fan, I mean, I know that he brings a lot of viewers to wrestling, and he has over the years, and he is a veteran. Sometimes his moveset can be very samey to me. He doesn't bring out any new things. Like for John Cena, I didn't watch him back then either, but at least he brings some new stuff to his matches every year, every couple of matches, so I like that. But I'm still excited. Like, Jeff Hardy against anyone is usually pretty good, besides maybe at the last pay-per-view or event.
New specials for the network coming out. One of them is over Jeff Hardy getting real with us. I don't see any reason why they would take it off him now. The Hardys are hot. It's about to be summer. We don't have Summer or Punk anymore. So keep it on the Hardy.
Yeah.
Keep it on the Hardy.
Yeah, both Hardys are super hot right now.
Ooh, what about that Swanton Bomb, though? Is Randy Orton going to allow him to pancake him? Because Jeff Hardy loves to pancake people now.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah.
Hilarious.
All right. Moving right into a tag team match. We've got Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley, the faces, versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn running the heels. Now, Monday night was super weird. They were in Montreal, so obviously the hometown heroes got the cheers, so they kind of flipped it on us here. But once again, that goes to stipulation because it doesn't matter if you're face or heel in your hometown, you're probably going to get cheered. Right. Which is weird because they were booing Bobby Lashley for coming out to help Braun Strowman. Super weird. You can't let Braun Strowman lose right now. Yeah. He won the greatest Royal Rumble. He's the real MVP of the WWE of the last year. Let them win it. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn will try their darndest, but no.
I don't think that the whole Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn thing is really getting over yet, and I don't know if creative really knows what to do with them. We got the segment a couple weeks back where they were out there interviewing Kurt Angle. We've had these feuds with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, the Authority over there on SmackDown. I think they're just testing some things with them. It's not working yet, and just like you said, for sure, Braun Strowman is the main priority right now. They also need to get Bobby Lashley, someone who should be at one point another champion, or for the first time WWE champion of some sort. They got to really start pushing him.
Agreed. And with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they either need to break them up and let them feud, because I think we would all be happy to see them have one last feud. They put on A+ matches when it's them two, or just break them up and let them go their separate ways and try and have singles careers again. Sami Zayn has not had a singles title on the main roster yet, and I think he deserves his shot. So, bottom line, yeah, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley go over in this match.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking for sure.
Yeah, taking this right too. One of them kind of mixed about, but I see why. A couple months ago, Daniel Bryan talked about wanting to get back, and he was going to actually help the younger guys go over and work with them. That's really the kind of the role that he's kind of going to take over now that he's a full-time roster. So you're going to have Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. once again, weird setup. So for some reason, Big Cass is like upset with Daniel Bryan, and it goes back because one was able to debut at Mania and the other one was not, even though they were both cleared. That's what the backstage segments are saying to that degree. But once again, you've got the GOAT, Daniel Bryan. You've got Big Cass, who has not proved himself as a singles competitor. So, I actually think Big Cass is going to win this one here. Daniel Bryan's already got his longest person in a Royal Rumble to also not win it. So he's got 2 records there, right? So he has to. And Big Cass is young, so let's put the young kid over and make him look brutal.
You think he goes over cleanly?
No.
He better not.
No.
He definitely shouldn't. He should do a lot of shenanigans to win that match. I'm definitely there with you as well, Adam. It's Big Cass is, I wouldn't say the future, but they do see him as someone who will continue to push WWE forward. Someone that is that big to Vince McMahon is definitely someone who's going to make them money. And Daniel Bryan can afford to lose 1,000 matches in a row and then come back and win a championship. Like, he's that good that something like this would not derail him in any way, shape, or form right now. Ultimate underdog.
I hear what you guys are saying. Ultimately, I think Daniel Bryan is going to go over. I think if we were talking about Big Cass pre-injury, he was the hot commodity. He was the one that they were really pushing. And unfortunately, an injury like that can really set you back. The audience can forget about you. So I don't personally think that Big Cass wins this one. I think Daniel Bryan just started wrestling again, and he's a super hot commodity, and they're going to want to keep that momentum going. So, especially if Daniel Bryan's going to chase a championship belt soon.
Do we need him to have a belt right now?
I'm sure we don't need him to. Would they want to put one on his waist? I think so.
I mean, to reenact the Yes movement, he doesn't need a belt for a while. And they're all big about trying to bring that underdog story back unnaturally this time.
How long do they have Daniel Bryan as well?
No one knows.
Yeah, like, one, we don't know based on injuries that could happen, but also we don't know based on whether or not how long he wants to stay in WWE.
Yep.
Is he going to have fun there? Does he want to go and pal around with his friends down in the indie circuit? It's hard to say. Just like with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has money. Daniel Bryan has money. He can do whatever he wants.
All right, I'll take that.
Fair points.
Where we got it there. Moving right into our women's championship for SmackDown match itself. You've got the champ, Carmella, versus the Queen Bee.
Mella is money.
That's
we know.
so weird.
Money.
I knew as soon as she
Mella
got that
is
shirt.
money.
I knew as soon as she got that shirt, she was going to get that championship.
Natalie's
'cause
saying hashtag Bella Army.
They announced it right afterwards. I think here, Carmella keeps it. I want to see a good face chase for it. We need another good squirrely run with the championship, and she could do it because she's not that good. So
I agree. I think Carmella will retain. Charlotte, to argue y'all's point about Daniel Bryan, Charlotte almost doesn't need a championship. She's so over right now. Probably the most athletically gifted woman on the roster for both rosters. And I could see her chasing the title for a while. I think Carmella's going to retain, probably with the help of the Billie Kay and what's her face?
Peyton Royce.
The
Yeah.
Iconics.
Yeah.
I think they get involved somehow and probably cost Charlotte the match. And so they'll probably give Carmella a healthy run, maybe 2 or 3 months.
this week they were making fun of Renee Young. It was great.
They're super
so
fantastic.
Classic,
I don't know, man. I don't think they'll ever make it to the main roster.
classic heels.
I
man.
just because we're bringing
People
so
don't
many,
think that.
Yeah.
I knew they would be main
they're
roster.
they're hot and I think with them pushing more women to the main roster, maybe just maybe we'll finally get those women tag team titles sooner than later.
Especially with all the stables that are coming up, definitely. I'm gonna have to disagree. It's gonna go back to Charlotte. The whole point of the briefcase was so that we'd have her going with this briefcase for the whole year. It kept her relevant, and we just had Charlotte beat the undefeated the Goldberg of the women's division, Asuka. Like, they want to continue to sell shirts. They want to continue to sell merch. They want to continue to promote the women's revolution, and that doesn't happen through Mela.
Fair point.
So for me, it's got to go back to Charlotte. I'm predicting that'll happen. I think that the Iconics will come out, but I don't think they do enough to cost. It's Charlotte. Yeah. Charlotte could take all three of them in a handicap match, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you could easily see the Iconics come out, and then you could probably see Asuka and Becky Lynch come out as well.
Correct. Very squirrely.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, it's not going to be clean.
No.
So I think we can all kind of agree
that it's not going to be a good match anyways. So
yeah, I can't possibly get behind that. There's just no way. All right, moving right through. Let's go to the Raw Women's Championship. So you've got your champion Nia Jax, who's not like any other girl, right? You've got Alexa Bliss, who's now cutting these like really twisted PSA service announcements over being bullied. Mm-hmm. Right, Alex, what's your take on here?
So I was gonna say that same thing happens. The Nia Jax loses the title. It goes right back to Alexa Bliss because once again, if we want to sell shirts, if we want to continue on this train with the women's revolution, that's what you have to do. But I'm kind of changing my mind back now. I'm kind of thinking that we go back to keeping it on Nia, and we keep this this whole thing going where as a champion, she's being like ridiculed, she's being bullied, even though they say that she's the bullier. I think they could continue going on this for a couple more months, honestly, or even into SummerSlam with someone else feuding with her. So I'm gonna take Nia Jax now. I'm changing my mind from 20 minutes before we rolled cameras, and I'm gonna go with Nia Jax.
Yeah, this is a tough one too. Initially, I thought, Nia Jax retains. Of course, they're not gonna take the belt off her so soon after Mania. They could. The management loves having the belt on Alexa Bliss because she is money. She is such a great heel. But I'll agree. I think that Nia Jax retains, and she'll start a program with someone else. They did.
She gets some more star power from that, which she needs.
They did tease Ronda Rousey, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to go that direction. I think Ronda will probably feud with Natty down the road.
She's not going to feud for a belt until WrestleMania.
You probably
got a whole year to build this.
Yeah, a whole year to build
win
this.
the Royal Rumble, go on to Mania.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of work they put into her, if they put that same amount that they have with Eva Marie, it's going to be night and day for those two.
Oh, yeah.
So you kind of have it both ways here. If both champs retain, it's kind of weird. If Alexa Bliss wins by a cheat thing, right? You know what? I'm going to take Alexa Bliss on this. They really love her. She's really over merch-wise.
She has a new shirt, right? That's what Jesse was telling me?
Yeah. Any excuse to give Mickie James more TV time, I'm down for as well. They're really pushing her as the sidekick, which I'm okay with.
Well, once again, she's taking that role, putting people under her belt.
She's playing the Natty role right now.
Yeah. Very good.
But she's doing it so well.
Yeah, totally.
So now a one that is a complete out of nowhere, not too sure why again. You got Seth Rollins versus The Miz for the IC champ. If Miz wins, he's 9-time, along with Chris Jericho.
The other GOAT.
Now this does set up what I was talking about 2 years ago and have them for a 10th time by Mania, a ladder match. But they're not going to play that, even though I would love for that to happen. Seth Rollins, right? He's the new Mr. Opportunity.
They love Seth Rollins with the belt around his waist.
Yeah.
He does it so well.
His waist is actually made for a belt.
Yeah, it's like
he has the perfect waist for it.
The perfect Jesus CrossFit body.
Correct.
So Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Miz has got to go away for a little bit, right?
Agreed. And
just had a kid.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, The Miz is on SmackDown again, right?
Yeah.
The U.S. title's on SmackDown, so I can't see them having that situation with two of the mid-card belts on the same show.
Yeah.
Not happening.
This is really to get Seth over more again. They're just continuing to push Seth. They got Seth with the tag team belts. They got Seth winning a ladder match or winning a that ladder match just that happened,
Yeah.
but also at Mania with the 4-way. Like they are making sure that he is cemented as a great champion. And right now, he's got the IC belt, and he's continuing to make it look good, just like The Miz did.
Yeah, it's good. All right, last two. Notice once again what's actually missing from this is your Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. Not here, not going to be here. So let me get a little 3D effect in here. I'm going to toss this right over that phone. Yep, did that work? Hopefully.
We'll see.
If it worked,
We'll see it in
did.
post.
If not, if you could just like fix that somehow.
Superimpose
Yeah, if
his
you could
face.
just
over,
put it. Whoa!
Yeah.
So everybody loves it there.
Paul Heyman
Where's
shows up over my
Tashi?
shoulder.
I don't know. On the floor. My wife is
making
actually
noise.
asking where the puppy is. We have a new puppy, and she's over there. All right. You've got your... Actually, you want to do this one next. Let's go Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Right?
Samoa Joe.
First, I want to give some props to Samoa Joe. He has been crushing his promos.
Yes.
100%. He
great.
said he's going to run through Roman. He's going to run through AJ, Naka. It doesn't matter. And what's great about this is those are all going to be great programs.
Yeah.
Even if he took on one a week, one per pay-per-view, he could do it. Because he is amazing.
Yeah.
Right now, Roman Reigns, we just need him to just lose
Yep.
to build him back up.
Yep.
And if we're not going to do that and we're not going to give him the belt, then what's the point right now?
Giving them the John Cena treatment.
Yeah, just crush him right now.
Yeah.
Just-
Well, why are you going to give it to him at like some pay-per-view? Like it's got to be at one of the big four. And
The Night of Champions one, that didn't work out too well.
yeah. Oh yeah. So is that 515 or
It's the 515.
yeah.
So I'll take Samoa Joe on here. He's earned it. He's earned it, and his rehab went well. And he's a brawler, and he's put Roman to sleep, and he's gonna say it again. I'm gonna put you to sleep. So
I'm going with Samoa Joe as well. I think you have to have Roman lose more matches if that's what you decided to do against Brock Lesnar. You need to have a new story arc, a new journey, and that's the one that it sounds like they're wanting to do. My question to you all is, do we get a better match out of them two, or when AJ went against Roman Reigns 2 years ago?
That's a tough one.
Because AJ brought a lot out of Roman.
Yeah.
Those were some good matches when they feuded.
Samoa Joe and AJ Styles are just so different, but I think they're both so good. I wouldn't say they're equally good. I think AJ Styles is in a league all in of his own, but Samoa Joe can bring a really good match out of him.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really good.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think this could be one of the matches of the night, and I will tell you the last 2 times I saw Roman Reigns, I thought those were the worst matches of the night. So that's saying something about Samoa Joe and what he can do.
well, that's why they put him with him.
Yeah.
Because he can bring out the best of him for it.
Yeah.
So by all means, I think Samoa Joe is going to bring out some greatness with him. I don't think that it'll be better than AJ because those are two very contrasting styles with AJ and Roman. And so AJ had to work really hard to make that happen. Where here we've got two bigger guys, two kind of big brawlers, monsters.
Yeah.
Where I think you're going to really see that really take flight from there. All right, let's take it to the last match, which I hope these guys actually get to main event, an actual pay-per-view. No disqualification match. You've got AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Knox, the king of strong style, the artiste.
The artist known as.
Right? The artist formerly known as the face. Jesse, don't you take this one first?
I was talking to Alex about this off camera a little bit, and I really couldn't decide what I thought the outcome would be. Initially, I thought, on the third try, I think they're going to take the belt off AJ and put it onto Nakamura finally. But I don't know if it happens here. I don't know if this pay-per-view is big enough to do that. So I'm going to say that the feud continues, and I think the feud continues with AJ Styles retaining. I hope it's a great match. Mania was a good match. Greatest Royal Rumble was, I think, a really good match. I hope we finally get a great match.
Yeah, I want to see a great match out of this. I don't see... I don't see them taking it off AJ Styles, but I don't want them to make Nakamura look bad to where they can't continue the feud. I want this to go into SummerSlam. Like, I want these matches to progressively get better and better and better because of the fact that you haven't given me even half of what they can do together.
What say you, Adam?
I'm gonna take Nakamura here, and here's the reason why.
That new song.
The song's
Japanese lyrics.
the song is good, but if we want to build him to be a really good heel, he's got to have the championship.
He needs it.
And AJ Styles doesn't really need it right now.
Yeah.
AJ Styles can run the show.
He was carrying the brand while Brock Lesnar wasn't there. He was the champion every week.
I do believe that AJ will get it back by the end of the year, but it might be beneficial for everyone to see what Nakamura can do with the belt.
Yeah.
Including myself. And thus far, I don't have any belts changing hands. Mm-hmm. So I think this one here.
Yeah.
I think this is the one.
Nakamura wins it, goes Naito on the belt, and just starts throwing it into the air like he doesn't care about it. I see where you're going with this.
So that's where I'm going to take it. I don't see any pre-show matches. I also don't see any tag team championship matches here either.
Yeah.
So if they are going to roll up something, it's probably going to be pre-show, cruiserweight pre-show.
Probably.
If that's the case, Cedric Alexander wins. I'll take that. Otherwise, Bludgeon Brothers win. Probably just destroy somebody, I guess. You know.
Maybe destroy a local
They'll probably
team.
put Buddy Murphy maybe against Cedric Alexander in the
If
pre-show.
he makes the weight.
Buddy
Murphy makes the weight.
Or put Baron Corbin in a match in the pre-show.
Oh, I forgot he still wrestled for WWE.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll make it very quick, maybe short and sweet for tonight. Before we do that, we're going to go to our wrestling definition phrase of the pod. And I'm going to let Alex take this one. Alex, what is a jobber? A jobber.
Jobber. Noun. A jobber is a wrestler that is paid to come out and put on a wrestling match of sorts where they are going to get beat down mercilessly and pounded into submission or into being pinned very quickly. They are not there to look good. They are not there to win over the crowd. They are not there to cut a promo that gets them a deal with WWE for a whole year.
Exceptions to those rules. Hometown heroes who get squashed immediately.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Usually happens. Majority of those going to our second definition, which is bonus feed for this podcast. Squash match.
I was about to say you didn't
squash match.
You gotta say
if you're a jobber, you're probably in a squash match, meaning that match made you look so weak because you got crushed really quickly.
But the point isn't to make you look weak.
It's to make the other guy look that good.
Extremely, yeah.
Oftentimes, this jobber is someone who might be a veteran, who maybe has had their own success in the past. And then other times, they're just someone who maybe was pushed really, really hard to begin with and then just didn't work out, a.k.a. the Ascension.
Local promotions, when they were pushing Nia, they were pulling local people. Mm-hmm. The girl from San Antonio was in there.
Great opportunities for local wrestlers.
Delilah Doom.
Yeah, great
She'll
opportunities
be here
for
in
the locals.
Austin, actually, soon.
Yeah. But then you do have your veterans. I think someone who is getting a lot of TV time right now that could be known as a jobber would be Mickie James. She's getting her TV time as Alexa Bliss's sidekick, but she's the one that's taking the pins and the submissions in Alexa Bliss's place to make Alexa Bliss look strong.
Yeah, very good.
Example.
We'll end it there. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for supporting your local podcast, especially here in Austin, Texas. Remember that everything we do is just too sweet, and it's faux life.